Everyone, welcome to the show. So, former U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Jeffrey Berman, has a new book out, and he's confirmed in that book what we all suspected, that Prince Andrew was protected by his mummy and the British government in the investigation into allegations that he had sex with Virginia Roberts Giuffre when she was only 17 years old. Giuffre, as you guys likely know, is one of Jeffrey Epstein's most high-profile victims. She alleges that she was forced by Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell to have sex with the prince on multiple occasions when she was a minor. Berman's office arrested Epstein in the summer of 2019, and he was looking into these allegations made by Giuffre, but he couldn't get the prince to even talk with his office. Well, now he says in his new book that although Andrew claimed publicly that he wanted to cooperate in any way possible, he refused to do so, and his attorneys gave the SDNY office a complete runaround for months. He said that it took weeks to just even determine who was representing Andrew. They contacted Scotland Yard. They tried to reach out to anybody they could think of, and nobody would tell them or could tell them who his attorneys were. Then, once they found out who the attorneys were, they said that they took part in a, quote, endless email exchange. And he said it became, quote, clear we were getting the runaround. And Berman says that when he finally made a public statement and he outed Prince Andrew for providing, quote, zero cooperation, that's when his attorneys came back to the table, but then they still didn't offer to have him sit for an interview. So Berman's office tried using something that they've used in the past. It's something called a mutual legal assistance treaty. This is where the State Department issues a request for cooperation, and Berman said that this has always worked both ways in previous cases. You know, both countries have complied and worked with each other. But he said, quote, that was not what happened with Prince Andrew. We got absolutely nowhere. Were they protecting him? I presume someone was. Then the prince's legal counsel lied in a statement, and they accused Berman's office of seeking publicity rather than, quote, the assistance proffered. But Berman writes in his book, quote, just to be clear, there was no assistance proffered. Berman also says that Trump's Attorney General, Bill Barr, saw this as a good thing. And here's why. At the time that this whole issue was going down with Prince Andrew, there was this widely reported case about an American diplomat's wife. She accidentally, while abroad, she hit and killed a 19-year-old British motorcyclist. It was a man named Harry Dunn. The Trump administration refused to extradite this woman. Her name is Anne Sekulis, I believe is how you pronounce it. So they refused to extradite her for prosecution. And Berman wrote, quote, Barr told me the public rift over Prince Andrew's refusal to sit for an interview was useful in this other case. It inflicted PR damage, was my impression, and made it more palatable for the administration to hold firm. So think about that. Barr is saying, we don't want to hand this woman over who literally murdered, not in cold blood, but accidentally ended up killing a young 19-year-old man. And they're saying, this is good. Then we don't have to hand her over because they're not handing over Prince Andrew. So Trump and Barr prevented justice in both cases. They prevented justice in the death of a 19-year-old man, and then they prevented justice in the alleged rape of a 17-year-old girl. Absolutely vile and repugnant. But yeah, he's going to expose the pedophiles of the world. Anyway, guys, if I hear any more, I'll let you know. This was just so disturbing. But thank you so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.